Welcome to Shots Fired. I'm Brad Freakin Nolen, and today with me I have the one and only
Nick Bell
and the legend himself,
Travis King.
We are live in Cana, Virginia to bring you our Week 4 picks. But first, Nick, update us on the standings.
Well, yeah, sadly I have I've been struggling early in the season, and I am 5 games behind the leader, Travis King, with Brad Nolen 1 game out of the lead. So, I mean...
Looks like you'll be going through the table if you don't start picking things up, Nick Bell.
Well, the positive side, just like golf. I mean, the way I look at it, there's about, 14 more weeks? And then plus the playoffs?
Yeah.
So golf's got 18 holes. It's just about the same. You fall behind early, you can come back.
You better start hitting them holes, Nick Bell. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yep.
So let's talk about some things that happened in Week 3. The Bills upsetting the Vikings was a huge surprise. I couldn't believe that. What about you, Trav?
Yeah, definitely couldn't believe it. Just kept on seeing the Bills run up the score on Minnesota. Just astounded, just shocked. I thought Tampa beating New Orleans Week 1 from out of nowhere was the biggest upset of the year, but I'm changing my mind now. I'm calling this the biggest upset of the young season so far. Perhaps the biggest upset I've seen in perhaps 5 years or so.
Yeah, Josh Allen looked good. I think he had 2 rushing touchdowns. He looked like Michael Vick out
Man,
there.
y'all bragging on him. Y'all hating on him early in the season. I was showing that boy some love.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you was hot on Sam Darnold. I mean, it's been about the opposite. Sam Darnold started hot, and Josh Allen started out sucking, and now things have switched around a little bit.
Yeah, but it's a long season. I could see both of them doing well, but I think in the end Darnold will be the better of the two. And then you got Baker Mayfield. The Baker Mayfield era began on Thursday night, so...
Feel bad for Tyrod Taylor. I mean, Virginia Tech Hokie. I hope he finds a starting job somewhere else where he's a local guy. I like to see local guys do good.
Mm-hmm. What about the returner Carson Wentz?
Yeah, this first game, I mean, come out playing in Indianapolis. I mean, Indianapolis looks like to be a 500 team this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess that's a good win for his first game back to get back in the rhythm. And they were in the rain.
Yeah, he looked a little rusty, but yeah, it was raining. But yeah, I think he'll be fine.
What about Jimmy Garoppolo tearing his ACL?
Oh, that's a big blow to the 49ers. Feel really bad for Jimmy most of all, but feel bad for San Fran's organization too as well. Just a horrible injury. Nothing you never want to see happen.
Sherman went down as well.
Yeah,
The 49ers have been plagued by injuries since preseason.
Yep.
I mean, it just won't end for them. Hopefully they can just look forward to building for next year, I guess, is all you can say.
Yeah, they're done for this year. I'd say at most maybe 4 wins now for them on the year.
So that puts Seattle second in the division, right?
Yes,
True.
I could see Seattle definitely getting second in the division now for sure. Yeah, no doubt.
What's your most surprised 3-0 team? There's 3 of them.
It's definitely the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And that fairy tale is going to end this week, but we'll get into that later. But, yeah, the Dolphins are a shocker, man. I can't believe they beat Oakland last week, and I can't believe they beat the Jets the week before that. It's crazy.
What 0-3 teams have the best chance of making the playoffs?
I still think Houston has a chance. I'm disappointed in them. I thought they were going to be, a top team in the AFC. So far, they're not looking like it, but I don't see why they couldn't get it turned around. They have so much talent.
Yeah, I mean, the division leaders are the Titans and the Jaguars at 2-1, and Houston still got to play Jacksonville 2 times, and then
Still got the whole division left. They haven't played a divisional game, I don't believe.
And then Tennessee, I mean, they're just banged up with a bunch of injuries, so I don't see them sticking up and getting above 500 record. So, I mean, there's plenty of opportunity for them, but I think there's only been 12 teams that started 0-3 to make the playoffs since 1990 or so.
I believe one of them was that Giants team that went to the Super Bowl and beat the Patriots, if I'm not mistaken.
So.
A wild card team.
Yeah, so it could happen.
Yeah, because Dallas was the division winner that year,
Mm-hmm.
and they lost in
Didn't they lose to
Seattle.
Seattle, yeah.
Romo botched the snap on a 22-yard field goal.
Cowboys, that's the Cowboys for you. But anyway, let's get into the Week 4 picks. Nick, take it away.
All right, Minnesota Vikings versus Los Angeles Rams. Kirk Cousins coming off of a terrible week up in Minnesota. I mean, it was probably, I guess, a trap game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rams lost both of their cornerbacks.
Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib.
Yep.
Yep.
Aqib Talib's scheduled to have surgery Thursday, and then Peters, they said he's out at least 4 weeks.
Wow.
So, I don't know. I mean, that defense is going to be suspect, but is Kirk Cousins going to be able to turn around his just horrible, horrible loss?
I don't think so. I think the Rams are going to win. It looked like on paper before last week this game was going to be a huge matchup, but now after the way the Vikings looked on Sunday, it don't seem as big of a matchup, but still a pretty good matchup. But I like the Rams. That offense is very explosive still. Look like the best team in the NFL other than the Kansas City Chiefs. So I like the Rams 27-17.
Yeah, I like the Rams at home as well tomorrow night. I'm going to go 31-24 LA. I think it's going to help out Minnesota's receivers with Talib and Peters being out for sure, but I still don't think they'll have enough to stop LA. And I do agree. I do think that was a trap game against Buffalo for Minnesota. I think they were looking ahead to LA and just didn't take Buffalo seriously, and that's why they lost. But either way, I do think LA will win, and I think it'll be a good game though. But yeah, I'm going to take LA.
Yeah, I'm going with LA too. I mean, I don't know. You saw how the Saints came out and played the Browns. This is a similar situation. That could have been the trap game for them, and then they came back and beat Atlanta, and then that offense is just incredible with Drew Brees. But anyway, I still think Los Angeles is going to win, but I still think the Vikings are going to put up a good game. I don't see them having 2 terrible games like that back-to-back, even though it's on the road and it's prime time. So everybody plays at their best on prime time usually.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going with the Rams in a close one. Moving on to the New York Jets versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Brad.
I'm going to go with the Jaguars. Don't think it'll be much of a game. Even though Jacksonville didn't look good against Tennessee, I think they'll bounce back. Blake Bortles is actually playing really well this year, despite the fact that he's not had much of a running game with Fournette being hurt. But I'm going to go with Jacksonville. I say they win 23-13, something along those lines.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville's going to bounce back as well and win. I think they're going to be ticked off after the way they lost to Tennessee in a 9-6 game, only scoring 6 points. Just couldn't believe that one at all. I figured they'd at least get somewhere in the 20s or something, and to only get 6 at home against Tennessee was just insane. But another thing I didn't understand was this might be changing the subject a little bit, but said in fantasy football Fournette was going to play. Said he was active, but yeah, when I checked my scores, he had 0 points. So I don't even think he played, which I don't understand why. But anyhow, though.
Speaking of fantasy, I had a real good week. I won $207 on FanDuel this weekend.
Wow.
Calvin Ridley won me big.
Dang, I bet he did. He had a big day.
Put him as my flex and got him cheap. But, so Travis, you said you're going to roll Jacksonville?
Yeah, I think they'll win by on the lines of 10 to 14 points.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty low scoring. Both defenses, I mean, Jacksonville's defense is good. I mean, Jets has got a mid-pack average defense. But I'm going to go with Jacksonville. They're at home. And still don't think they'll get the running game going this weekend. Say Jacksonville will kick a lot of field goals, and they'll end up winning 16-7.
Wow. All right.
Moving on. Okay, Miami Dolphins versus the New England Patriots. The Dolphins usually always play the Patriots good and close, but Tom Brady has got their number still. But you know, Miami comes out and they put their best out there when they do play him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Miami's been a shock this year. I can't explain it, but I think their little fairy tale comes to an end this Sunday at Foxborough. I think Brady's going to be pissed the way they played against Detroit, and he's going to come out and have a good day. I like the Patriots in this one. I ain't going to say it's going to be a lot, but I think it'll be a pretty close game, actually, but I still think Patriots will win.
Yeah, I like New England as well. Might surprise some people. I actually think it's going to be a blowout. I think New England's going to be ticked off, and Brady's going to be fired up, and he's going to have the rest of the Patriots fired up, and they're going to come out on top of their A game. And New England needs to win this game, probably actually more than Miami does at this point, although it's only week 4. Because either way, Miami's going to walk out of Foxborough still in first place if they do lose by 1 game ahead of New England. But if they happen to win, they're going to be 3 ahead, which is crazy to think of if they do, but I don't see it happening.
You know what's going to happen if New England loses this week?
What's going to happen?
The media is going to go crazy, and everybody's going to be saying the Brady era and Belichick era is over. And then I just like to see the media and everybody go crazy about that.
Oh, you know they will.
And then Belichick will be like, on to whoever they play next week.
Which will be the Colts, I believe.
On to Indianapolis.
That's a Thursday night game, too.
Yes. Yep.
Might be closer than what expected at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Colts are a better team than what I thought.
Yep.
Patriots need to give Brady some weapons. It's ridiculous. He has no receivers besides Gronk.
Now.
But he's a head case. You never know what he's going to be doing. So, like, he literally has no one to throw to. If they double Gronk, what are they going to do?
Dorsett! Philip Dorsett!
James White, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. But, so everybody's rolling with New England?
Yeah.
All right. All right, on to Brad Nolen's Philadelphia Eagles versus the Tennessee Titans.
I got the Eagles in this one, and actually, I might be going to this game in Nashville thinking about it. It's not too far of a drive. And old Travis King here said he might go too. So his Panthers are on a bye. He won't have no one to watch, so he might be going. But, yeah, I like the Eagles. I think it'll be a pretty close game. I don't think the Eagles are going to blow them out by any means. Tennessee's a pretty solid crew, but I think the Eagles will get the win. Hopefully Wentz will get back on track. Last week was a little rough for him. You know, his first game back, but Eagles should win it.
Yeah, I like Philadelphia in this game. Actually, fairly easy. I could see it actually being a blowout. Tennessee's just got I still don't know how to beat Jacksonville, but I give them credit, though. But either way, going back to this, they just got a lot of injuries, which I probably sound like a broken record saying that at this point. But Mariota's clearly not 100%, and that's going to really hurt him against a defensive team, and the Eagles with their great defensive line, that's really going to hurt. So Tennessee's probably going to go run heavy in this game, and Philadelphia stops the run well, so that's not going to bode well. And I just don't think Tennessee's going to have enough defensively to stop that Eagles offense. And I think Carson Wentz this Sunday is going to do better than he did last Sunday. Because you got to think last Sunday was an ugly weather game with it pretty heavy rain coming down in Philly for the most part. And I just checked the weather for Nashville for this Sunday, since I may be going to the game, and it's supposed to be 85 and sunny. So those are perfect conditions for him.
Another thing that was weird about the Eagles game was they wasn't blocking, the offensive line wasn't blocking well. The Colts pass rush was all over Wentz. And that could be that Indianapolis has a better pass rush now, or it could be that the Eagles line's not as good as it was last year, but hopefully they'll get that figured out.
All I'm going to say is if Philadelphia scores 10, that's all the points they need. Because Tennessee is not going to score.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I'll definitely get 10, Nick Bell. Don't you worry.
I'd say Philly wouldn't surprise me if they put up 30.
But I don't think Tennessee will put up more than 10.
I could see that being true, actually, considering how banged up they are. And they're probably going to have to go run heavy, and Philly stops the run.
Yep. I don't know the consensus on Blaine Gabbert this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, if he plays, he has more of a chance of winning than Mariota does at this point, because Mariota can't throw.
Yeah, that's true.
With his elbow.
Yeah.
But I'm going to roll with Brad Nolen's Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly, baby.
Moving on, the 0-3 Houston Texans versus the Indianapolis Colts.
I like the Colts at home in this game. It's at Lucas Oil Stadium, and Houston hasn't showed me nothing all year. And the Colts, if you would have told me when they went on the road for 2 straight weeks to Washington and Philly, and they'd come away with a win in either of those games, I would have thought you were crazy, but they won one out of the 2, so...
That won both.
Yeah,
Look
they
at
about
them
won.
inside,
They played
what,
Philly
10?
tough. They could easily be 3-0. They played Cincinnati tough at home week 1. They was driving right down the field, and Jack Doyle fumbled. If he hadn't fumbled, they would have had a great chance to win the game late. But, yeah, I like the Colts in this one. But, I mean, I think it's going to be close. Division rivalry here. I'm going to go Colts. I'm going to say, I'm going to go 23-20 Colts on a late Adam Vinatieri field goal. I think it'll be a good game. And Houston, I don't know what's wrong with them. I thought for sure they would beat the Giants at home last week, and they didn't. And on top of that, Eli Manning, of all people, happened to have a good game, who I've said a million times I think's washed up. So now just imagine what Luck's going to do to him, and he seems to be healthy this year. So, I mean, I'm not saying Houston can't win. I'm giving them a shot for sure, but I just like the Colts at home.
Yeah, there seems to have been a culture change in Indianapolis. They used to be a gunning down the field, putting up a bunch of points, couldn't stop anybody. Now they seem to be playing defense and running the ball more, and Andrew Luck's not having to do as much. So they look like a more complete team. But yeah, I think the Colts are going to win this one as well. I hope to see Texans get a win here before too long, but I don't think it'll be this week. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, close game, but I'm going with the Colts.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Colts, too. Bill O'Brien for the Houston Texans is definitely going to be on the hot seat after this week. I mean, it's pathetic. As much talent as he's had, and it seems like every year they're below 500 or right at 500. I mean, I don't know, it's disappointing, but...
With all that talent, too, going to waste.
Yep.
It's true. Which last year in his defense, they did have a lot of injuries, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, moving on to the Buffalo Bills versus the Green Bay Packers. The Bills coming off probably the biggest win of the season, and the Packers coming off of a devastating loss at Washington.
Yep. Well, I hate to say it, but I'm going to have to go with Green Bay in this game. I'm at least going to give Buffalo a chance. How could you not after they beat Minnesota? I think it's better than Green Bay, by the way. But, I mean, I just think Green Bay is going to be too much at home, and I just don't think Buffalo can have a golden fairy tale story on the road 2 weeks in a row. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Green Bay.
I like Green Bay, too, in this one, but I think it's going to be a close game, actually. I had the score being 30-24. I think Josh Allen's going to play well again, but he's not going to outplay Aaron Rodgers, which, I mean, that ain't saying much. Most people don't, because he is the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. But, yeah, and he's playing hurt, basically. He can't move hardly, and he's still doing what he does, man. You know why, Travis
Didn't do
King?
it last Sunday.
Well, he played pretty well.
7-11 on the road in his last 18 games, although this game's at Lambeau Field.
Well, he can't win them all, Trav. Can't win them all. But Aaron Rodgers is a bad, bad man, and I think he'll get the win this week, even though he is a little hobbled. But
I mean, I think if I'm the Green Bay organization, I'm telling Aaron Rodgers to take this weekend off. I mean, I'm saying rest that knee a little bit. We're playing Buffalo, so hopefully our defense can stop them. I think when they beat Minnesota, it was kind of a fluke. Minnesota just couldn't get anything going.
I think they were looking ahead to the Rams, if you want my opinion.
Yeah. So I'd be playing the backup Deshaun Kaiser this weekend and giving him a week's rest. But I'm going to roll with Green Bay, even though Aaron Rodgers is hurt. I mean, what's good playing them against Buffalo? I mean, you're just going to take more of a risk of getting them hurt again or hurt even worse.
no win's easy in the NFL, though. So they don't want to do what the Vikings did last week and embarrass themselves at home, you know?
Well, I mean, it's going to be even more embarrassing when he does get hurt for the rest of the season, when he tries to go run on a 3rd down and 5 to get a first down or something.
Well, now, if they go up, like, quite a bit, then, yeah, take him out. But not start the game, Nick Bell. You need Aaron Rodgers. They're the worst team in the NFL without Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think they are.
You know that's true.
No,
He's a difference maker.
I don't think he is.
No.
But yeah, I could see
Where's that
actually being
table
a
at?
high-scoring game, though.
Where's the table, Travis? I'm putting you through it, boy.
Yeah, come to think of it, I do think Josh Allen and the Bills put up some points I mean, my gosh, if they could do it against the Vikings defense, I know good and well they can do it against Green Bay. So, yeah.
All right, moving on. This is an interesting game to me. The Detroit Lions coming off a big win against New England, playing the Dallas Cowboys coming off of a disappointing loss against Seattle, which Zeke Elliott had more rushing yards than Dak had passing yards. So, I mean, who y'all got in that?
I'll let Travis start with this one. He's got a strong opinion on it.
Yeah, I think the Lions, I feel pretty confident about it. I ain't going to call it a lot by no means, but I think Detroit will win, and I think a score will be, I'm going to go 34-24 Detroit. I think Stafford's going to have a big day. He's from the Dallas area. He'll be hyped and excited about playing down in Dallas and Jerry's World, and I think him and his strong group of receivers he's got to have a big day. And Detroit, if I ain't mistaken, is first against the pass, and that's not even been that great, and I don't think he's going to do too awful much. But I think Dallas has success running the ball, but I said earlier that if I was Detroit, I would stack 8 in the box and try to stop that run and force Dak to beat me. But I don't know if that'll happen or not. But either way, I do feel confident that Detroit's going to go down to Dallas and get a win. My gosh, they just beat New England, so why can't they beat Dallas if they beat New England, you know? Although that was at home against the Patriots, but still, it's not like Dallas is exactly a tough place to play. I don't feel like. I don't even think it's probably the top 15 in the league for toughest venues to play in, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, Cowboys have some horrible fans. I agree with that. Yeah, I'm going to go with Detroit in this one, too. I had a tough time picking it because I'm not very high on Detroit. They did look good last week, but I'm even lower on Dallas, so that's what made me come to the decision to pick the Lions. But I think it'll be a pretty close game. Dak Prescott, yet again, looks horrible. I bet they're wishing they had Tony Romo right about now. But if Elliott can get the ground game going, then they might win, but I don't see it happening. I got Detroit.
Yeah, I got Detroit too. It's pretty easy choice for me. It's just you can't do anything when you ain't got a quarterback, and Matthew Stafford is 2 times better than Dak Prescott.
Considerably better.
I mean, and the Lions, ever since that week 2 against San Francisco, I think they got some momentum going.
Yeah.
Stafford took them down the field in the fourth quarter and got them 17 points.
Put them in position to win the game at San Fran late. Yeah, they would have beat San Fran if, just say, Garoppolo would have been hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate he's hurt in the first place, of course, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'm wrong with Detroit. I think they're going to win pretty easy. But that rookie running back they got from Auburn, Kerryon Johnson.
Yeah, he rushed for 100 yards Sunday night.
He's got some moves.
First time they've had a 100-yard rusher in quite some time, too, by the way. I think it was the longest active streak in the NFL.
Yeah. They haven't had much of any running back the last few years. I mean,
since Barry Sanders.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
So everybody's rolling with the line?
Yep.
All right. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers travel to the Chicago Bears. Brad Nolen.
Thank goodness that fairy tale ended Monday night. I was getting sick of hearing about Fitzmagic and the Bucks, the lucky son of a gun. Say that little fairy tale came to an end. Old Big Ben shut them up. Yeah, they're going to go to Chicago this week, and they're going to lose again because Chicago's legit. Khalil Mack is a monster. You know what? He might win MVP this year if he keeps it up. The whole league.
He could.
He's a difference maker, man. Yep. Chicago's legit, and they're going to win this game. It might be, I think it'll be kind of close, but I like Chicago in it. I'm going to say 24-20.
Yeah, I think Chicago's going to win as well. I feel pretty confident about this. It's a tough loss Monday night for the Bucs. High expectations. I believe a lot of people thought Tampa was going to win, including myself, and they just couldn't quite get it done. Fitzpatrick, I'd say, played slightly above average Monday night. Had 4 turnovers. 2 of them were just terrible luck. I think one right through a receiver's hands picked off. Another one was tipped at the line of scrimmage. 2 of them, they were bad decisions he made. 2 of them, I'll say, were.
So he had how many? 4 interceptions?
He had 4.
3,
and they lost a fumble, I think.
Yeah, he had all 3 interceptions in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
If he don't throw them 3 interceptions,
Yep.
Steelers don't get 30 points in the first half.
Yep.
And then in the second half, they didn't score any.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay wins that game easy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm taking Tampa Bay this weekend.
Uh-oh. Upset alert.
Yep, I'm taking Tampa Bay because
Shots fired.
that Chicago offense, man, they played a 27th ranked Arizona Cardinals defense. And they had to wait till the fourth quarter to just barely pull it out against Sam Bradford. And then they brought in Josh Rosen. I mean, the only thing they got, they better thank God they got Khalil Mack. Because as of right now, they'd be 0-3 if they didn't have Khalil Mack out there. So, Khalil Mack ain't going to be saving them this weekend because Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to put up at least 3 touchdown passes. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a whole will put up at least 30 points against that Bears defense.
They ain't going to have time. They ain't going to have time because Khalil Mack's going to be on them before they can get the ball hiked, man.
We'll see. I'm picking Tampa Bay. I'm very confident.
Fitzmagic's going to be shaking in his boots.
In an upset.
I'm actually pretty confident Chicago, especially Tampa, traveling on a short week like this, too. I think Chicago just overlooked Arizona, to be honest with you. I don't think they took them seriously. And I think you could argue it was a trap game in a way. They might have been looking ahead to Tampa on the schedule, considering the magical run Tampa's been on, if you think about it.
Yeah. I still think Tampa's going to win. I don't know. For some reason, when I filled out the picks, this is one of the games I filled out as soon as I looked at it.
I mean...
Because I just don't have much faith in Trubisky, and then Howard, he's mediocre as of right now. Not too hot.
That defense, though, man, it's legit.
That defense is good.
Tampa's defense isn't very good, which makes me think Chicago's going to be able to score on them.
Look at the defense. Well, besides Philly, look at the defenses Fitzpatrick faced. Steelers and the Saints, who are both struggling.
Yeah.
Now he's going to face a legit
In
defense.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, that was bull. We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about that. It's all right. My Seattle Seahawks start 0-2. But moving on. Let's see. I'm going with the Buccaneers, and y'all going with the Bears.
Yeah.
All right. The Cincinnati Bengals versus the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, get ready for a fireworks display show in Atlanta this Sunday. It's going to be a high-scoring game, I figure. I could see both Matt Ryan and Andy Dalton throwing for, 300, maybe 400 yards between the two of them. I mean, Atlanta's so banged up on the defensive side of the ball.
Their D's banged up.
Who is it? Ricardo Allen?
Ricardo Allen tore his Achilles in overtime. Keanu Neal's out. He out for the year.
Who's the linebacker?
Deion Jones, he's out for, you might as well say, at least until December probably. Then Allen and Neal's out for the year. So, just tough, man. But Cincinnati, I think it'd be a good game, but I think Matt Ryan's better than Andy Dalton, and I think that's going to be the difference in the game. And plus, A.J. Green's banged up. He got hurt against Carolina, had to come out, and I think he's still listed as questionable for now against Atlanta. So if he don't play, Atlanta's bad on defense. That's going to hurt Cincinnati if he don't play too. But, I think it'll be close. I'm going to say Atlanta wins. This might surprise you. I'm going to go 42-38. It's going to be that high of a scoring of a game.
Yeah, I agree with Trav. This is going to be a bona fide shootout. Atlanta has no defense, and Cincinnati's secondary is not going to be able to stop Matt Ryan. It's going to be a very high-scoring game, both definitely in the 30s. But, yeah, I like Atlanta pulling it out. I say they win by 2 scores, though.
Yeah, I think Atlanta's going to win. Y'all are both right about the high scoring affair. You just look at it on paper. It's juicy. A.J. Green, Julio Jones, the rookie Calvin Ridley, Matt Ryan, mediocre Andy Dalton,
Tyler Boyd,
John Ross,
and Joe Mixon,
Giovanni Bernard.
Freeman's coming back too for Atlanta. I'm pretty sure.
Coleman did all right filling in his shoes.
Coleman held down the fort just fine. I think Coleman, you make an argument, it's about as good as Freeman. They just have different styles.
Yeah, Freeman's more of a pounder, and then Coleman's more of a pass catcher, shifty.
Yeah, he's like James Watt, and then Freeman's like Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right, so everybody was rolling with Atlanta. Okay, this is a very interesting game to me. I mean, the Cleveland Browns coming off a big win, going to the black hole. The Oakland Raiders, which are struggling, are 0-3. Will the Browns win back-to-back games for the first time since 2015?
No, they won't. It's going to be a good game, though, but I think Oakland's going to get their first win. But it will definitely be an entertaining game. Baker Mayfield he's just got ratings written all over him, man. He's electric, but I don't think they're going to get the win in Oakland. Oakland has led in every game in the third quarter and then lost it in the fourth.
Yep.
So I think they're going to pull it together this game and come out with the win, but I think it'll be close.
Oakland has scored 0 points in the fourth quarter this year. They're the only team that has not scored in the fourth quarter this year.
It's rough.
And they've had the lead after the third quarter in all three.
That could easily be 3-0.
Khalil Mack.
True. I bet they're wishing they had him.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Oakland as well in this. At home especially, I'll take them. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be very close. I'm actually going to go 27-26 Oakland. That's how close I think it's going to be. If it was in Cleveland, I'd definitely pick Cleveland without even hesitating. But being it's in Oakland, Oakland's 0-3 and they really need to win. I think they'll get it done. I think it'll be a good game. That's about all I have to say about it, really.
That might be the game of the week this week.
Yeah, it'll be a good game, no doubt.
The Arizona Cardinals versus the Seahawks.
It's got a little bit of interesting storylines going into it. You got Josh Rosen's first start, and they almost beat the Bears last week, and then Seattle had a good win against Dallas. But I think Seattle's going to win it. I think it'll be a close game, but I do like Seattle in this one.
Yeah, I like Seattle as well. I think it's going to be a fairly close game. Interesting to see how Josh Rosen's going to play in his first ever official start in the league. Seattle played good against Dallas. Defensively, they played good. Of course, I ain't seen a lot when you're playing Dak Prescott still, though. But
Shots fired.
Yeah, I like Seattle, though. Arizona, I still think, is trying to find their identity and everything, and I just think Seattle. I just don't see Josh Rosen more or less beating Russell Wilson with more or less both teams almost even, but I just think that's the difference maker is Russell over Josh Rosen at this point.
The Seattle Seahawks have a bad man on defense in Earl Thomas. 3 interceptions in 3 games, and y'all see him take that bow to the Cowboys sideline.
He got a flag for it as well.
Yeah.
Sportsmanlike.
It didn't affect us. We was up 11 with like 2 minutes to go. But and Seattle in total has got 7 interceptions in 3 games and 1 recovered fumble. So the defense is still above expectations than what a lot of people thought with Legion of Boom being on. So we lost Sherman. So that's a good move to let him go. Because you see where he's at right now.
It's true. It's very true.
And then, it probably wouldn't have hurt if we got Chancellor back this year.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Seattle in a close one. Seems like every time we play Arizona, it's within 7 points.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Didn't they tie last year?
No, 2 years.
2 years. Yeah, that's right.
Sunday night game.
Yeah, 6-6. But it was 3-3 going into overtime, and both kickers made a field goal. And then both missed a field goal.
Wow. That's a heck of a game.
Going back to that Cowboys and Seahawks, Skip Bayless deemed that game as the Earl Thomas game. He said Earl Thomas was the difference maker, and that's why Seattle won. Then he blamed the loss on Jerry Jones because Dallas, I guess, had a chance to get him back in the summer, and they didn't. And he said it was Jerry Jones' fault they lost.
Yeah, all you got to do is give us 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
I saw an interesting take on the Earl Thomas situation. A girl put this on Facebook. I think it was 2 nights ago. She said that Pittsburgh should trade Le'Veon Bell to Seattle for Earl Thomas, and I was like, wow, that would make sense because Pittsburgh needs defense, and Seattle could. They got Chris Carson's a good running back, but Le'Veon Bell would be difference maker.
Yeah.
So that would be a good trade. I don't know if it'll happen, but something to think about.
Yes, I was absolutely thinking the same thing, except I think Seattle would have to give up more than Earl Thomas. We would have to give them a draft pick. So I'd say Earl Thomas and maybe like a 3rd or 4th round
Yeah.
and we'd get Le'Veon back.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I don't see it happening because we drafted 2 running backs in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Chris Carson and Rashad Penny. We got to give them opportunity. We can't let the draft picks go to waste like that.
Mhm.
And then C.J. Prosise, we drafted him 3 years ago. He didn't work out. Thomas Rawls, we got him undrafted about 3 years ago.
What about Alex Collins? Didn't they draft him too?
Undrafted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know he come from there to Baltimore.
Yeah, undrafted, and he went to Baltimore's practice squad, and now he's I don't know if he's a starting running back.
Yeah.
He starts.
Yeah, he's been
Because I
pretty
saw
solid.
one game he only had like 8 rushing attempts.
Yeah, they got Buck Allen. They bring in for
Yeah.
short yardage, but yeah, so interesting storylines regarding Le'Veon Bell. I wish he would come back, but
Well, what
knows?
team do y'all think he'd go to?
I honestly think the Jets are the most likely landing spot, and then second would be Miami. I heard they're both interested,
Wow.
but I'd like to see him with the Jets. Him and Sam Darnold, they'd make magic, man. It'd be awesome, but we'll see. I wish Le'Veon Bell get his head straight. Pittsburgh don't need him. James Conner's doing fine for him, so I mean, Bell would bump him up to another level, of course, but their problems are on defense, not at running back.
Yeah.
I think so too.
All right, guys. The New Orleans Saints travel to the New York Giants.
That's probably going to surprise some people. I'm going to the New York Football Giants in this game up at MetLife Stadium Sunday afternoon.
What's the weather going to be like, Trav?
It's probably going to be
Nippy?
70s or something. It's not going to be cold. It's still just out of summer, man.
After trashing Eli Manning and saying he's washed up, you gonna take him?
Yeah, he's played good at Houston, so, I mean, he's got a little bit of momentum, and he's going home, and
Wow.
Saints defense hasn't looked good all year, so I think Barkley's going to be able to run the ball, and as long as Eli's protected and doesn't do nothing stupid,
And you're gonna take him over Drew Brees?
I think Drew Brees is better, but
I think that
Are you
Saints.
nuts?
I think that Saints defense is gonna stop Saquon. I don't know if they're gonna be able to stop Eli Manning because that defensive line of the New Orleans Saints is the best thing they got on that defense. Cam Jordan's a stud.
Yeah, I like the Saints in this one, though, Trav. That offense is way too much for the Giants' defense, and Eli Manning, you can't trust him. You never know what he's going to do. He might throw 3 picks, 4 picks, 5 picks. You never know. And he's not going to be able to compete in a shootout with Drew Brees. So I think it'll be somewhat close, but I'm going with New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm going with New Orleans too. Drew Brees is better than Eli Manning at the moment, but if you have both of them in the prime of their careers, I think it'd be a really good game. But it's going to come down. If the Saints stop the Giants' run, Saints going to win easy.
Saints are explosive. Ain't no doubt about it. I don't see how in the world they lost the Buccaneers. Baffles me.
Because the Buccaneers scored 48.
yeah.
Fairy tale.
All right, the San Francisco 49ers versus the Los Angeles Chargers.
Chargers going to win this one easily. Poor 49ers. So many injuries. It's just, Chargers just going to run all over them. Chargers haven't looked too great this year either, but I think they'll get it turned around this week and have a good day. Melvin Gordon's going to have a big day. The whole offense is going to have a big day. And they won't have to worry about, what's his name? 49ers quarterback coming in, Brett?
CJ
Beathard?
Badford, yeah.
Yeah, like he might do fine for him, but it's going to take a while to get some reps and get comfortable in the offense. So Chargers easy.
Yeah, I think this could be the biggest blowout of Week 3 in my opinion. I mean, who knows? Crazy things have happened in the NFL this year, but if it falls like it should, the way it's written on paper, this won't even be a contest. Game be over at halftime. 49ers defense is an absolute mess, so the Chargers are going to score points like crazy on them. Their offense is good anyhow. And on top of that, Chargers defense is still pretty good, and the 49ers have no quarterback now that Garoppolo's out. And they're just banged up all the way around, and I'd honestly pick Chargers anyhow with it being in L.A. if Garoppolo was playing. But I mean, without him, it's going to be a blowout, though. Not much to look forward to in that game.
It would be a really entertaining game, though, if Garoppolo was playing.
Yeah, it'd be a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
With him and Rivers dueling it out, I'll agree.
That'd be a shootout for sure.
Yeah, I'm going with Philip Rivers. I mean, I'm debating this weekend on my FanDuel to start him at quarterback. If he's cheap at that cheap price, I probably will. But
You got to think they're going to be up early, so they won't have to throw much. I'd go with a quarterback that's going to be in a shootout, for example. Or Andy Dalton. He'll be cheap. That's going to be a shootout. That might be your best bet this week.
Thank you, Brad Nolen, for that advice.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you one.
I have a fantasy conundrum myself because I have Seattle and the Chargers defense on multiple teams, and I'm thinking, should I start Seattle against the rookie, Rosen, or should I start the Chargers against the banged-up Niners? So it's tough because the Chargers defense hasn't looked good this year, and Seattle's has, even though Seattle's on the road, Chargers at home. But
Seattle's has got at least 2 interceptions a game.
Yeah.
So if you go by the trends, they'll get you at least 2 turnovers.
I say they'll have at least 3 against Rosen. Who knows, though? He might play good. Who knows? This season's been crazy, so it's tough to gauge.
Yep. Moving on to the Sunday night game. This is always a closely contested game. The Baltimore Ravens versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're rivals, and this is always a good game.
Always. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Probably the best rivalry in football, I'd say. Yeah. I like the Steelers at home. Their offense is playing great right now. Big Ben's playing some of the best ball of his career. I think they're going to win. It's going to be a dogfight as usual against Baltimore, but since it's in Pittsburgh, I'm going with the Steelers, 27-24.
Yeah, I think the Steelers will win as well. Nothing quite like the black and blue rivalry, man. It's always great football. Just my goodness, what a rivalry these two teams are. But yeah, I think Pittsburgh pull it out at home. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go 27-20 Pittsburgh. It'll be a good game. Pittsburgh's got some momentum now. Going down to Tampa Monday night and picking up a win, that was big for them. They needed that. Now they're coming back home, get ready to face off against their biggest foe in Baltimore. Baltimore went on the road week 2 to play a divisional rival Cincinnati. Didn't look too well, so that's another reason why I think Pittsburgh's going to win. That's a tougher environment playing in Cincinnati, I would say, too. So I think Pittsburgh overall is better than Cincinnati, although the record, you couldn't say that, but I'm winning with what I think in my heart, though. So, yeah, I think Pittsburgh will win. I can see Antonio Brown finding the end zone 1 or 2 times in this game, and Juju Smith have a big game as well. So, yeah, it'll be fun. Always fun these two teams play.
Yeah, I'm going with Pittsburgh. I thought about this game awfully hard. I really did. And then I was like, Joe Flacco, it's like a sloppy Joe to me.
Sloppy Joe. I like it.
I'm going with Pittsburgh.
Would you rather have a Big Ben or a sloppy Joe?
What is a Big Ben exactly?
Well, it's like this. You go in the bathroom if you're a female. Well, let's not get into that. Next game.
Monday Night Football. Are you ready for some football? Patrick Mahomes led Chiefs versus Denver Broncos.
I like the Chiefs in this one. Patrick Mahomes is so fun to watch, man. He's electric. Man, that offense, the best in the NFL by far, I think. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're in the Super Bowl this year. I don't see who's going to stop them. That offense is potent. Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins, Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt, weapons for days. Yeah, Denver has played well this year, and they're at home. But I don't see them stopping, nor do I see Case Keenum competing with Patrick Mahomes all night. So give me the Chiefs. I'm going to say 31-17.
This is probably going to surprise some people. I'm going to go with Denver at home. Yeah, you heard it first here. There's only going to be one undefeated team after week 3, and that's going to be the LA Rams. But, I mean, I don't know why I'm picking against Kansas City. I sort of feel dumb for doing it. I've noticed this is week 4, and I've picked against them 3 times. They proved me wrong the other 2 times.
Then why do you keep picking against them, young man?
I just don't think this matchup sets up well for them. Denver's got a pretty good defense. I think they're still going to put up their points, but defensively, Kansas City's pretty bad, and I think Case Keenum at home and Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, those good young bats they've got, I think they'll put up points as well. And I think Denver's going to do just enough on defense to win this game. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, though. I'd say I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. I'm going to go with Denver. I'm going to go 37-31 Denver.
Dude, what?
Yeah, it's going to be a high-scoring affair.
There ain't no way Case Keenum's going to put up 37 points.
Kansas City's defense is awful. I don't see why he couldn't.
Yeah, not that bad, though. Case Keenum ain't going to do that to him.
They say great minds think alike.
Yeah.
Well, me and Brad Nolen predicted the same team to win, the Kansas City Chiefs. We also predicted the same score, 31-17. Great minds think alike.
It's going to happen. Might as well. Vegas, the bettors in Vegas, go ahead and bank on it. It's a lock. 31-17.
Yeah, that 14-point spread. I don't know. What is the spread in this game?
I know the Chiefs are favored. I think I looked at it maybe 3.5.
Chiefs are only favored by 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take the Chiefs.
Yeah, I take the Chiefs all day.
I think the Chiefs will cover.
I don't know when they're going to lose. I'll have to look down the schedule.
That's the only game I could see. Jacksonville's the only team I could see beating them.
Kansas City is it home against Jacksonville?
City?
It's a Sunday. It's a Sunday night or Monday night.
Kansas City will win that
game, dude.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City's going to win that game. I don't know who's going to beat them. I can see the Chargers maybe getting them the next go round, but
no, I don't even see that. That's Kansas City.
Yeah, but Chargers will get it figured out. Joey Bosa's been hurt for them. That's been a big, big loss for them.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
But that's all the games for this week. Any last thoughts, comments, suggestions?
Well, we did. Me and Travis disagreed on 3, and me and Brad disagreed on 2, right?
I think that's right.
So maybe I can catch up some ground this week.
Yeah, you'll have a chance to cut it to 2. Potentially, assuming everything goes your way and it doesn't go my way.
Let's talk about Travis's big upset pick last week. The Detroit Lions over New England.
Yeah.
Thank you and Rob Parker on FS1 are the only 2 people in the world that picked that.
Well, yeah.
So congratulations.
Well, I told y'all I thought Detroit was going to win.
I
mean,
don't
at
see
home,
how.
The Ford Field, man. I just had a feeling, man, I didn't have a lot of faith in New England's defense to stop Detroit, and for the most part, they didn't. If anything, they caught a few breaks. Detroit had to settle a few times for field goals. For the drives, I just imagine if they didn't have to do that, they'd have been in the end zone instead of settling for field goals.
Imagine if Tom Brady had a receiver to throw to besides Gronk.
If Denver wins this week, I'm taking you to the lottery. We're going to buy a lottery ticket, Travis.
All right. Denver wins, they'll be in first place, by the way, because Kansas City's 3-0, Denver's 2-1, so that both be 3-1. Denver on the tiebreaker. Although they do play again later on down the road.
Let's think about the last time Case Keenum was in the primetime lights. What happened to him? NFC Championship against Philly, he folded.
Yeah, but
so I don't trust him.
Their defense is better than Kansas City.
He had a heck of a
Plus,
season.
that was at Philly. This is at home.
Do you remember the game before that one?
Saints.
Yeah, that was a lucky
that
though.
Was a fluke.
I'll
say.
Okay.
Defender didn't know what he was doing.
But he made it to the playoffs, right?
He made it. I'll give him that.
So he gave his right. So you're telling me when Seattle came back and beat the Packers in that comeback to go to the Super Bowl, was that a fluke?
I think somewhat getting the onside kick was, but outside of that, I don't think so. No.
I went to sleep during that game, honestly.
Aaron Rodgers is anyhow, so no, of course not.
I thought Green Bay had that game won. I fell asleep. I woke up, freaking Seattle had it won. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
NFC title?
Yeah.
That was during the day. You went to sleep during the day?
Yeah.
Wow.
The game started at like
3 o'clock,
yeah.
12 o'clock Seattle time.
I fell asleep. I was like, man, Green Bay's going to be in the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers, that bad man's going back. Nope. Woke up. I was shocked.
Yeah.
The Colts played the Patriots that night.
That's when all that with the Deflategate came out, which is a bunch of crap.
You know, Andrew Luck, his first year, he took them to the playoffs. They lost in the wild card round. Next year, they went to the divisional round and lost. The next year, they went to the conference and lost. But they never went to the Super Bowl.
Who'd they lose to in the wild card?
Wasn't it the Chiefs?
Chiefs.
That was a crazy game.
Incredible comeback.
Do you remember Andrew Luck taking the hike, and it was like a fumble, and he picked it up and dove in the end zone?
I thought it was Indianapolis that came back and beat Kansas City.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then they lost to... I had no idea. I just remember that game.
Yeah.
That was a crazy game.
I think I remember that game. Kansas City was up big. I like 30-some. Colts storming back, man. Yep.
We'll see what happens this week. I think some of Travis's picks are questionable, but last week I thought that, and I was wrong. So we'll see what happens. But anyhow,
If I had to say before we sign off, I guess I would say I'm more confident in the Denver over Kansas City pick than I actually am the Giants over the Saints pick.
you crazy.
But I still think both of them's going to win.
No.
I really do.
Chiefs and Saints, brother. Write it down. Mark it. Bet it. That's it for tonight, guys. Signing off. Shots fired. I'm Brad Freakin Nolen. He's Nick Bell.
I'm Travis King.
And that's it. Good night. And God bless.